All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 44 Stack. We finally got a triple-headed monster back this week. Kelsey Coop Charles, got Bruh Long, and welcome back, West Coast Dave. We missed you, man.
Yeah, man. They had me working, dog. I had to do some things so I can get back that way in December for 3 weeks unabated. No
Hey, there we go.
disturbances.
So
I'm
so
telling you,
so
glad
that
to have you
means
back.
so
Glad to
so
have you
that
back.
means all three of them weeks you doing it live with me.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be
Oh
right there
Lord.
with Wolverine. I'm gonna be with Tony Wolverine, who that is, Franco, and all,
Oh my
all the
God.
rest of the folk.
I don't know. Look here, I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
Yeah, you got
Three
Yes,
that.
sir.
straight weeks. We
Yeah.
might not get football in at all. But
Yes, sir.
anyway, let's go on, kick it off right. We back. The three-headed monster is back. Let's kick it all right. Monday Night Football. Um, the sad, unfortunate part is we got to put up with this for the next 2 weeks. Because they're gonna be on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito versus Cooper Rush. Or is we go get Trey Lance? Let me know what you go. Come on
They
there.
should have they should have put Trey Lance in, but the sad part about it is, normally we own the Giants, but I can't even say we're gonna win this game. That's the sad part about
Well, hey,
it.
on
It's
the
just
real though, insider information, Kels, is there something with Trey? What he not? What ain't no? What he not showing? So what's the word on the street like Martin say?
well, at this point I'm outside looking in, but I think preseason told it all. He's not
What?
up to speed. Something's not translating because you see what he did. San Francisco traded him away too easily. And then you got to think about it. He's a number 3 overall pick, and they put Brock Purdy in ahead of him. So something's fundamentally not there. Now he threw a pretty spiral the series that he was in. The problem was he threw it to the wrong team against the Eagles. But it was like one of the prettiest fouls you ever want to see.
But the
Now
crazy
he's
thing,
got
we
wheels.
got
He can
cats
run.
out here throwing 4 or 5 interceptions a game, right?
Yes.
This
Yeah,
year. I mean, on the real, this
yeah.
might be the worst quarterback play I have seen collectively in the league.
Collectively, that is
Now we
true.
have
And
our stars, do not give it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
as a collective, like
yeah.
we got people going 9 for 28 and
and,
117 yards for
and
Yes.
44
winning,
a
Yes.
game.
and
Now, I'm
Yes.
not
winning.
saying there's not different ways to win. Don't get me wrong. You adapt to the times. But I don't know. It's just some of this quarterback play is like the worst I've seen in a while.
Well, is it bad quarterback play or the secondary? I know we're not don't talk about Dallas, but
No,
is the secondary is a little bit better or just
no,
inaccuracy or
Well,
it's
they say
bad
it's the
offense.
too high safety thing, right? They say that they want to get rid of it. They kind of want to ban it. It's like the shift, right? In baseball.
Mhm.
They saying the too high safety is destroyed. But then I can't say that when I see Jamar Chase, and them real, they go get it even with too high
Right.
safety. So
Hmm.
it that can't be the. I think it's the coaching of the. We got old style ways on new style quarterbacks, if that's kind of a thing.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, I see
I
Like
can
I
that.
don't
definitely
think
see
the
that.
coaching has adjusted to the type of quarterback you get now out of college.
Well,
Yes.
part of the issue is college quarterbacks spend 95% of the time in the shotgun, and you run all your offense out of the shotgun. And what that does, what it's supposed to do, is simplifies the offense down. The teams that
Hmm.
are playing tremendous offense have multifaceted offensive plays where you under
Hmm.
center or you in shotgun, pistol, whatever. Those are the teams that's dominating, i.e., except for that one game, Jared Goff. But Detroit is killing everybody because Detroit playing old school football. They just doing it in a more modern way. Um,
Hmm.
the thing about it is you have some defenses. It's a philosophy thing if you think about it. It's how you want to play. We play ugly, Steelers win. Uh, when we get cute, like i.e. the Ravens, when you get cute, you lose because that's not how your fundamental balance of your team is built for that. And
So,
the only team
so
that's
what?
supposed to be like that is the
So,
Chiefs, man.
so what you're saying is also a part of a big part of that, is on the OC to understand his personnel and put them in a great position to win.
Well, that's with OCs and DCs, because what we've seen is the proliferation of, y'all like that.
I love that word. I like it.
Proliferation of the passing
Woody
game
to be proud.
has created. Ms. Wood would be proud.
I don't even know, but I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she'd be proud of that one. I brought that one from way down deep. Yeah, but anyway, the passing game has got so sophisticated with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning during that time period. What ended up happening is you start getting faster and faster linebackers and defensive end to try to combat that. Now, one of the things I'm glad I've seen this year is a reemergence of the running back.
Yeah, me too.
And how they are dictate, because again, anybody that knows football will tell you, come playoff time, championship time, you got to be able to run the ball, you got to be able to play.
Great.
And if you can't do both of them two, you ain't gonna win. Throwing the ball 50 times is not gonna get you a win. I'm sorry.
What if you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run?
Then you pick you hear Roger Goodell last week in April, first week of May, talking about with the first pick in the 2025 draft, the Dallas Cowboys select.
Cowboys select. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, you just mentioned the team Buffalo. You know, when we started this, we started talking about this. We started with Buffalo. They're not gonna have nothing. It's gonna be an uphill battle. That's off to Josh Allen. Hey, I gotta also, when I say something, I gotta come back, and when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Josh Allen, to me, and the reason why is what he's done. He put that team on his back and said, "Let's go, boys."
Literally.
So yeah, hats off to Josh there.
Now
my Bills. I'm trying to tell you, my Bills.
Now it look good now, but again, regular season don't matter. It's gonna come down to playoff time, and
I didn't even think they were gonna make the playoffs.
Oh, I knew they were gonna make the playoffs because I didn't even.
I thought they would be struggling. Like they had nothing. Cause so what he reminds me of then now is like what they used to do to Phillip Rivers, like how he can get you, how he used to could get you to 8-8. Like you can just give him something and that's bad because you stay, unless you Pittsburgh, you're not good in the middle to late round. Like I've only seen them, and when New England was at their heyday, right, master, that you be in 32, 30 to 32. Right. But San Diego, as you saw, never matched, and Phillip Rivers was too good for them because he could keep them at 8-8. So, T, what I'm saying is that no matter what you give Josh Allen, it looked like he can keep your team competitive right at that wild card spot, or you going to the playoffs.
Well,
yeah, if you keep him calm, because he does have a propensity to do some.
But he don't do that no more though, like he used to.
He hadn't did it yet.
I haven't seen that this year. Really?
He did it yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Because I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it will come if they get into a situation where they have to throw to win the game. It's going to come. And right now, they haven't had to play that type of football because they've been pretty much now when they had to make the comeback, I think the first week against Kyler and the Cardinals, he had to go Superman mode on that. But everybody's all up in the air, right now because they beat the Chiefs. I'm like, they've been beating the Chiefs every year in the regular season. It's just the playoffs.
Rain Man.
Yeah, it's just the playoffs when that happened, man. And see, that's the thing is this here. The Chiefs are the team to beat until somebody show us something different.
But the other side of that too, a lot of people not talking about is the Chiefs hadn't played a good game yet this year.
Don't need to.
They don't have to. I think because I think people start playing the Chiefs instead of playing the game. And I get that from my son Donovan because I don't want that nigga run out here telling me I said that. and yes, that's Donovan Bahal's quote. They start playing the Chiefs instead of playing, and then that's when you start losing. But T, I want to clarify something for you though. Let me think. I think you think I have expectations of Josh Allen and Buffalo doing anything like in play. No, I have none of that. All I'm saying is big ups to even keep a team afloat when they took away your offensive players and your defensive players. And it looks like I said, one of them Dan Marino, Phillip Rivers 8-8 type deals that you pull off. Dan Marino was like that too. I mean, they gave him nothing, but he just kept him 8-8.
Well,
and that was bad in a certain sense because they never could get nothing because of that.
I'll say like this here. When they let Stephon Diggs go to Houston, that was a addition by subtraction because he was the problem. Now, I didn't think when they let Gabe Davis walk that they were going to be as good because all they had was the tight ends at that.
That was the one for me.
And
right.
The other part of it is James Cook is doing an outstanding job at running back, and the little Shakir wide receiver, he's playing. And I knew Keon Coleman would be good. I knew because how he played at Florida State, so I knew he would be good once he got acclimated to being there. But Shakir is the one that really is making a difference for them. But here's the thing.
Don't forget Coop. Now he's long in the tooth, but he can still get you something.
Yeah, but I'm the reason why I'm saying this is where it's gonna come to a head is they are the recipient of everything New England was a few years ago, where you playing in one of the worst divisions in football, and you don't have to go through a whole lot. If Buffalo had to play our schedule, it wouldn't be the same.
So you're saying that when come playoff time, they might make some noise, but they'll be healthy too. Because they won't be beat up at the end of the season.
They won't be beat up.
The game, but
the thing is this here: you can pretty much guarantee they're gonna lose a game that they shouldn't lose. That's gonna drop them probably to the 3 seed. Okay. If Pittsburgh gets the 2, that means you get Buffalo, Kansas City in the divisional round versus the wild card round.
Second weekend, right?
Second weekend. You get that the second weekend.
Yeah.
If you got to go to Kansas City, and I'm telling anybody this in the AFC, you got to beat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna find a way. He's gonna find a way to put it together. By that time, Pacheco should be back. You should have
be back Thanksgiving. He should be back this week, I think.
He is back.
I think they're gonna hold him out until after Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't realize they hadn't, even though they played division games, they hadn't played all their division games yet. They got a lot coming up. Plus, they still got to play us. So that's one of the things I'm like, schedule ain't as easy.
Just one right or two. One, where is it? Where is it? Arrowhead or?
It's in Arrowhead.
Okay. That'd be a good
so that's not a good situation. Looking at the Chargers Sunday night, they did everything in their power to give it away. But if they play a 60-minute game the way they played the first half, Chargers is going to be something to deal with.
Chargers look like he's building them just like the Michigan team.
Oh, yeah. You already know.
When you look at them, man, they look just like the Michigan. Well, they look like all his teams. Let me stop. They look like they look like his team. Power run game, control the clock, hit you with a couple if you can, down the seam with the tight end. Yeah.
Now, the only thing that had me worried Sunday night was they started to look like the normal Chargers and start giving up touchdowns.
I call them the super Chargers.
They were like, what are y'all doing? Y'all was killing them a little while ago, and now y'all ain't like y'all can't play. But that's a problem with all NFL teams. They don't know how to close out a game. Now, the only team right now that's closing out everybody is Detroit. Because Detroit is taking blood, man.
They closing them out in the first quarter, though, except for the Texans.
Man, they stomping people, man. They are straight stomping people.
I've been watching pro football a long time, bro. Long time. I ain't never seen a team just beat people the way that they beating people right
85 Bears.
Well, but 85 Bears did it with defense. Detroit's doing it with offense, man. Offense.
And I was talking about the points for like the margin of victory. Yeah. Like it's that kind of margin of victory season. Yeah, they are, man, they straight beat you down.
But here's the thing. Here's the crazy part. When Hutchinson went down, we was like, okay, this is gonna be a problem. They ain't missed a beat.
No, not
they
at all.
Missed a beat. They get up on you so fast, and it's like, oh Lord, what didn't happen? Because
And they
I know
all
Sunday,
tackled.
by the time I sat down good Sunday, it was 21-0. And I'm like, what are they doing?
And then you got to look at it like this too. Jared Goff's stats went down this year versus last year.
Bruh, he don't have to throw.
Yeah, because
No,
they just, man,
not at all.
They are what I call a very violent. That's why I said I'm starting to pay attention to how teams tackle. When you see teams like I say, like when you look at the Pittsburgh Ravens game, the violence in the tackles. When you look at Detroit, like I told you already, the wide receivers are tackling the DBs. They not their offense is now defense. They are a very violent ass team. And you look up
Ward
28
part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, because Amon-Ra St. Brown, you better watch him because he's gonna knock your head off, bro. Especially if you don't have the ball. But the thing about them is they physical, but they fast as I don't know what too. Yeah. And that's what really have you like, man, what in the world are they doing? Because you got Gibbs, you got Montgomery. He hit you with Laporta off the play action. If it ain't him, it's Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I'm like, bro, what is they doing? I ain't seen, the last time we saw offense like this was probably the 98 Vikings when it was Randy and Chris Carter and Jake Reed. That was the last time we saw offense like this.
Marshall Falcon now.
Yeah, Marshall Falcon.
Yeah.
What Tony Horn on that team for a hot
Tony Horn, yup, man. Yeah, they had a lot of people.
Yeah. They were but I'll say this here. How many times in the last 30 years or so have we been looking forward to seeing Detroit at 12:30 on Thanksgiving?
Never.
We had a little short period there with Barry Sanders. Had another short period there with Megatron. Now, really, that's the marquee game.
Man, you missed it. No, the Herman Johnson era. Yeah, I used to like Herman, the wide receiver.
You talking about Herman Moore
from Virginia?
Yeah, Herman Moore.
Yeah, Herman Moore. Yeah, that was a good era.
Days.
Y'all forgetting, man. Jim Bob had them fellas looking pretty good for.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah, Jim Bob had
Bob Cooter could call some offense, man.
They had the Blades brothers too, right?
Yeah, they had Benny and Brian.
Benny Blades and
Brian.
Brian, there you go. Yeah.
And
Robert Porsche.
Yeah. Of course, you got to do the Bulldogs all the time. Yeah. But looking at where Thanksgiving is going to be right now, I mean, the Detroit Bears game is probably your best game because the 4:30 game is going to be awful.
Detroit. What's the spread for Detroit Bears? I need to be on. What's the spread on that? That's not going to be
Detroit and the Bears.
That ain't. It might be like, are you saying the best game?
It got to be at least 19,
or a good game, because that got to be a 10-point better.
Out of the three that's on that day, that's the best game because, like I say, the Giants and the Cowboys is gonna stink.
But it's gonna be must see TV because you're gonna see who's gonna do the dumbest stuff. That's what I'm looking for.
And then the game Thanksgiving night is the Dolphins and the Packers. If it's cold in Green Bay,
that might be a good game.
If it's cold in Green Bay, Thanksgiving night, this ain't gonna be no game.
I'm gonna tell you this
right 11.5.
When that violence hit Sassy Baller, he is gonna be running backwards like he do every game, and it's gonna be over. I'm just telling you now. That violence versus Sassy. I don't know. I got violence on that one. I don't know. I just don't think that he can do this. Yeah. It'll be a lot of backwards running. Yes. For him. That game.
I know, man. I know. But you know what? It's been a lot of sassiness. Been a lot of sassiness in the NFL lately. Especially with these pregame fits. I'm really like, okay, what are we doing, y'all? It's all right to be fashionable. It's all right to be fashionable. But y'all taking it a little too far sometimes.
San Francisco.
Yeah, Bo. Yeah. It didn't got to. It didn't got to. You ain't gonna tell me it ain't. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about Steelers and the Ravens. Again, I said it. The Ravens are not the Ravens have not been the same since Ray and Ed have retired. And how you get to the end of the game and you don't have Derrick Henry out there, I don't understand that. And then the 2-point play, what was the purpose? Because it was not the scope. Because that wasn't nothing but run and hope you can get in. And know full well after the Steelers saw that Derrick Henry was not in the backfield, they could care less at that point.
All bets off, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, and this is what Lamar does against us. This is what Lamar does against the Chiefs. He cannot play a complete game against them. He makes too many mistakes. He has too many turnovers. And this is why they're not going to go anywhere. He's probably going to win his third MVP this year, and he's still not going to go to the Super Bowl because they're not even going to win the division.
But the sad part about that is
I just want them to tell somebody, say, man, when you see open field run, I want to go back to something you said, T, earlier. People have to be comfortable, number one, in who they are, and two, and how you can win a game. Because you made a perfect point. The Steelers don't care whether they beat you by a baseball score, 12-11. They are comfortable in who they are and how they win. What I think people, this whole quarterbacky thing, all of this shit they be talking and all these things that you got to throw. Man, if the field is open, run the ball. You are unaccounted for. You are the only person on the field that's predominantly run. I saw so many, and he's thinking. And that's what I see against y'all and the Chiefs. Instead of just going on instinct, he's going on, it seems like the talk show stuff or whatever, and like, I got to throw the ball.
I think, now against the Chiefs, he always thinks he got to outdo Mahomes. Against us, I think he just don't want to get hit because
no, I can't say that. I ain't gonna let you say that about that. That man, you can't question that man's toughness. Nope. I've seen that man take it all. You can't say that, T.
I'm just saying. Have you ever watched a full Steelers-Ravens game?
I have watched many of a full Steelers game. And I will tell you,
people tend to get hurt in that game.
You can't say this man
they tend to hurt people.
You really believe this man's scared to get hit on your real? Come on now. You know this.
I put it like this here. We go all the way back to his college days, okay? When he played against Clemson, same thing.
Same thing. He's scared to get hit, number one.
Same thing.
I don't think it's a scared to get hit thing because you're playing football. That whole thing go out the window. That's why like throwing games and shit become hard because competitiveness come out. He is not the scared to get hit thing. I think there is so many things that he start just in his mind contemplate because you see the pause. Like he get right outside and there's a lane and there's a pause on like, should I find the receiver or should I run the ball? And it's just like bam, and then the wrong decision is made. So I don't know if it's not to get hit thing, because then that's questioning toughness and all that. And that man, I can't sit here and say that man's scared to get hit. I just think he starts thinking when he plays the Steelers and the Chiefs too much instead of reacting.
To your point, I think he may be forcing himself to win a game in a way that he's not comfortable winning. I mean,
you got to be comfortable in who you are as a team and who you are as a person, and when you doing stuff, or you ain't gonna, like T said, they're gonna have a very short one. Like they're probably gonna get they won't win the division, so they'll have to play wild card weekend. And let's say you win wild card, you're gonna have to play your demon the second weekend.
But to
or the first weekend, really. Yeah, because you get the wild card, it could be the first weekend.
Right.
That defense is not what it needs to be too. So
and that defense, man, is just, I don't know what's going on.
Outside of Raekwon, I mean, you don't have much.
I'm gonna be honest. Ever since Ozzie Newsome retired, they have not put a premium on Ravens type players to play defense.
Yeah,
they did. Remember when the Ravens had two defensive tackles you couldn't get through, try to run the ball. When you had Goose and had Big Adams, you couldn't get around. And they kept that. Up until Ray and them left, they ain't had nobody replace that. They defensive ends are not big per se. They decent size, but they're not huge defensive ends. And then right now, and I'm gonna say it like this here, Mike Tomlin is out coaching John Harbaugh every opportunity he gets, man.
And that's why I said on that game, on the game, the Ravens Steelers game, for me it's a win-win regardless, because I do want Lamar, as I've expressed before, to get that so people can shut up. But also Mike Tomlin is on my Mount Rushmore of coaches. So either way, I get a black quarterback to win the Super Bowl, or I get a black coach to win the Super Bowl. Either way, I want one of them, and so Nirvana will happen either way for me when them type of games go down. Because I don't know. I don't use people of color anymore after the election. Black people come out ahead on that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this here. If Lamar doesn't make the Super Bowl this year, he will never make it. He will never make it. If he don't make it this year, he will never
make it. To do a rebuild. Well, they have to do a rebuild
because what you're looking at in the AFC over the next 5 years is the Chiefs are not going to completely fall off. You already know that. Harbaugh is going to have the Chargers in a much better place. Houston, get a little older, a little wiser. They're going to be something to deal with. You're going to have to deal with the Colts. If Anthony Richardson play like he played on Sunday, you're going to have to deal with them eventually. The Patriots eventually is going to be decent again. Buffalo ain't going nowhere. And then you still got the best division in football that you play in. Joe Burrow throws for 500 yards. They ain't going to win the football game. He can throw for 500, but they ain't going to win the football game.
Well, that team will be dismantled after this
year. Bruh, I told everybody before you start coming on with us, I told Kelsey at the beginning of the year, I said, Bengals going to Bengals now. I already knew that because they can't sustain for long periods of time. They got a short window, and that's all they got. The man threw for 400 yards Sunday, and he lost. Okay? Threw for 400 yards because that's what they do. I don't even know what you can say is actually missing. I know their defense stinks, but from an offensive standpoint, if you ever pay attention to the Bengals game, at some point during that game, they can't do nothing. It's like 3 and out, and then they get hot.
They remind me of, you remember how them streaky, the Marino teams used to be? They used to do that like in them later years now. Remember, don't do nothing in the middle, and then he get hot. You know, he get hot, and then they still lose the game. He ended up with 400 yards rush. 400 yards pass and touchdown, but you still ain't going to win nothing. You know, because T, I will say, though, because if you would have said that, that's kind of precedent. If you would have told me that Dan Marino would have never gone back to the Super Bowl when he went, like being a rookie, I would have said, man, and then what happened subsequently, like we get 85 and all that, I would have said, man, you lying. And look, that man never went back to the Super Bowl.
Well,
that's crazy.
But you got to,
with all the numbers.
He never even sniffed that because
ever.
Because you got to figure, after he didn't win, you had the rise of the Buffalo Bills. You had the rise of the Houston Oilers. Warren Moon became. You had the rise of the Denver Broncos. John Elway, or as my granddaddy lovingly said, Elroy. You couldn't do nothing with Elroy. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Right after Marino,
man. You know,
right after Marino, it was Denver. Elway came right after and did that. Well, he lost a lot, but he took over the AFC.
But you got to figure, the late 80s, early 90s was Denver, Cleveland, Buffalo.
Yep.
And Marino never had a defense. He never had a running game. And that's what did him in. He had Duper and Clayton.
Yeah, he has some receivers.
But that's the only two, though. After Duper and Clayton, don't name them.
Yeah.
Really, though, Kels, think about it. After Duper and Clayton, you'll be hard-pressed to name them.
Joe Rose. That was the tight end. The only reason you knew that was because he catch 4-5 balls a game because, you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't sack Marino. You couldn't do nothing with him. It just, he go down and score a touchdown. Defense wasn't going to stop nobody.
Who was his running backs?
Tony Nathan and Bernie Palmerly.
Yeah, I remember.
You ain't think I brought that one out, did you?
Damn, man.
Bernie Palmerly used to be a UPS driver. All right. So let's get on this one here because I see this here, and this one is really pissing me off too. What is the Falcons trying to do, man? Are they trying to blow the division? Because for the last 2 weeks they stink.
Kirk
I
Cousins
didn't
gonna
get to
Kirk
see
Cousins,
them
man.
play Denver, but I don't know what.
Even if you watched the game, you didn't see them play.
You didn't see them
Like,
play
what
Denver.
Kirk, what happened? I saw the score.
They were still
I mean,
they were still at the airport, man, because they didn't go to Denver.
Yeah. Well, hold on now. I got to do the Falcons. I got to say this, because I'm to this day, and my Deontay Wilder to this day, I'm still trying to figure out. Now, y'all help me out with this one. Now, the Falcons did lose to the Saints. Now, I asked Tony this last week. What in the world type of voodoo did they put on that last kick of Young Wei Koo? I'm still trying to figure that out. That ball was going straight, and then it just took a right turn and said, "You know what? I don't want no parts of the goalpost." I'm still trying to figure it out.
You play in that dome, something gonna happen. Yep. It has been ever since 2005. If you in that dome, something crazy gonna happen. Okay, I ain't saying what it is. I ain't even want to bring that into my household, but I'm just gonna say something gonna happen.
You got a crosswind in the dome.
I know, man. When you're a kicker and can't kick in the dome, I think.
Remember,
remember
right. In 2005, that whole city was underwater. That's all I'm gonna say.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all I'm gonna say. But seriously though, what are the Falcons trying to do? Because you didn't mess around. Let me drop this knowledge on y'all. You didn't mess around, and in 2 weeks, all right, you have allowed the Buccaneers to get back into the division. You open the door for the Saints to get back into the division, and hold on to your hats, boys. The Panthers have an opportunity to get back into the division. They only 3 games back, and they still got to play everybody between now and the end of the year. They done won 2 in a row. Yeah. Question: can they make it 3 this Sunday? Now they playing the Chiefs, so we already know that's not. Now, if they pull off this here on Sunday, honestly,
it's the revenge of Bryce. There, he's told y'all.
If he pulls off this one on Sunday, there is nothing we'll be able to say.
And that's it.
And Kelsey, we've been calling upsets.
Yeah, except for that one I just called.
Well, yeah, I already know that. But, the thing is, the Falcons cannot keep on doing this because they're going to mess around and play their way out of a position. And here's the thing. Kirk had a terrible game Sunday. Terrible. Even by Kirk's standards, it was a terrible game. They truly are gonna mess around, and they are going to squander the lead that they have. And you're gonna let Tampa Bay get back in this thing. You're gonna let the Saints get back in this thing. And heaven forbid if you let the Panthers.
Tampa Bay got that, man. If Tampa Bay just stay on the field.
I want to know this weekend out of the bye what kind of team this is. Are they the team like last year? Because this is the exact same thing happened last year. Went on the losing streak into the bye, came out of the bye, and pretty much won the rest of the games except for one. Now, do you repeat that? Probably not, because the sun already did shine on the dog's ass. So I don't know if you can do that again. So we'll see. But I hope so. The schedule looks great. I mean, shit, that is too easy not to take advantage of. But again, it goes back to, because we got to revive the term Clemsoning. Bucket. We got to turn, that's the term. You can go back to buccaneering. And buccaneering means you go back to what you used to be when you was 3-12, 3-13, all of them years, 4-12.
Is Mike Williams coming back this week?
Yeah, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Is he coming back this week?
Yeah, Godwin is out for a while.
So
Godwin's out. Godwin need to retire. But anyway, yeah.
Well, if he come back, he better get 2 chicken bones and put them in the end zone or something, because he
can't stay healthy.
Man. He can't
stay healthy. But he's a great way out there, though. Yeah.
Well, and this is going to be interesting to see how that division plays itself out. Let me tell you the other one that's going to be interesting. The West. Because right now, Mighty Mouse got them boys playing football, man. And I'm telling you, I love it just from the standpoint, ain't nobody was talking about it, man. And I just love the fact that they winning. Geno with a big win Sunday over the 49ers. Needed that. That kept them in the hunt. The Rams, you don't know what Ram team gonna show up in.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Is it gonna be Stafford and Puka all day long? And then the 49ers are done. The 49ers are done. I have come to the understanding that their window has slammed shut. Because
you know the good thing I think what he did, and that's one thing I got to give it to Lynch. The way their salary cap and the way he has the contracts, it's not hard to reload. You know what I'm saying? Because he did it without having a heavy quarterback salary. That's the work.
But here's the thing. All right, now Purdy is eligible next year. You ain't got to give him nothing, but he is eligible.
Right.
Do you wait? Let him play the 4th year. Don't pick up the 5th year and wait, because what you gonna have to do, you got to cut salary next year, because really you got to get rid of Debo. You probably got to get rid of McCaffrey at some point.
How heavy is Kittle in it?
Kittle's not bad. His contract's not a killer.
Man, you know what I'm doing? I'm drafting a quarterback, and I'm gonna go at 8 because it's business too. I know everybody. Because Purdy ain't nobody I'm scared about getting mad because I've drafted a quarterback. I am gonna keep that position as cheap as possible, as long as possible, because once you commit to that and you don't have like a good coaching structure like Andy Reid or something like that, or good front office, you are going to be behind the 8 ball for a while. I actually would draft a quarterback and let Purdy play everything out and just keep it cheap, like the MLB. Keep you what they call time and service thing. And like because that's the way that team is built. And I don't know if you need to go off that path with that.
Well, here's the thing. If they don't make the playoffs, what do you do with Shanahan?
Oh, he's staying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's staying, because I think he's built up enough to where it'll be like, who do you get that's going to be better? Like Shanahan is one of them coaches to me that can coach. I'm not going to say that. Like wherever he go, he's going to take a team and turn them around he will take a team and turn them around if he has the support. So I don't think it's a Shanahan thing. I think it is, how does Lynch want to continue building the team and which way he wants to go? Because he's he pretty much has autonomy on that part, right?
Well,
does he continue this skill player bonanza and I can have the quarterback cheap, and then invest in defense? Or do I go for a quarterback and then kind of get the line and then go for my, go out? And so it depends on what Lynch decides. Does he keep what he got going now, or does he go another way? And he goes, actually, what's so funny, he does it like his Bucs team that won the Super Bowl. Like, he makes the quarterback position expendable. And the rest of that, you go out and get a Keyshawn. You go out and put in, your line and all that. And then, so I don't know which way he wants to go. I think that's a Lynch problem more than it's a Shanahan problem, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there was expectations. And I don't think, if they finish right now, they're in last place in the division. If they finish in last place, I think the seat is a little hot if he finishes in last. And I think it's really hot if the Cardinals win the division, because nobody expected that. We thought the Cardinals was going to be like 4-13. We didn't think they were going to be. And right now, the Cardinals really is a couple of plays away from being 9-1,
right there,
8-2. You know what I mean? They have been right there in every game. They hadn't been blown out yet. So, and like I say, Mighty Mouse right now, I mean, you can't do nothing with him.
No.
Blitz him. You messing up. If you play zone, you're messing up, because he gonna eat you alive. And Lord, don't flush him out the pocket. Because once he gets past the line of scrimmage, that's it.
Because he ain't taking it. If he see it, it's over. He taking it.
Yeah.
All right. So looking at the schedule for this week, We play tomorrow against the Browns. Jameis, I thought
Which
Jameis
Jameis
was.
y'all getting?
Oh, it's gonna be terrible, Jameis tomorrow. He.
Well, you got a good Jameis
That
last week, but
that
they couldn't
3-4
win.
defense go cause him problems, man.
Yeah. Jameis,
This is a classic Jameis this week. This is probably throw for about 175 and throw about 5 interceptions. I see what this one going for. Keep Chubb under wraps and we should be fine.
Let's give Chubb some props, man. After that gruesome knee injury, for him to come back and
but this is his second one though, because remember when he got hurt in college? You know what I'm saying? This is his second one.
Yeah.
You know, Chubb is one of the best running backs. He just unfortunately played in Cleveland. You know, it is what it is. Sunday.
Remember Mac for Cleveland? Remember Mac for Cleveland? He
Kevin Mack.
That's it. Kevin Mack. Yeah, that's who he remind me of. Yep.
Sunday at 1:00, we got Buccaneers Giants.
If we lose that,
Tommy DeVito is starting for the Giants. Please don't lose this football game.
Yeah, I hope not. Yeah.
Please don't lose this football game. We got Chiefs Panthers live and in Charlotte.
Upset alert.
The Chiefs should be upset for how they lost to Buffalo, but please don't let the Panthers win this game, because if they win this game, the Panthers are back in the hunt for a playoff berth. Who would have ever thought that? Cowboys play the Commanders in their first meeting of the year. This could get ugly real quick.
Oh my goodness!
It's gonna be a scrimmage. But I got a better question. Are we buying what the Commanders are selling? Or they just overachieve?
I'm gonna say they were close Thursday night.
Until
they were real close Thursday night. Saquon just took over, man, and that's the difference maker right now in that division. Saquon is doing. The Giants need to be shot for letting that boy get out.
This ain't the year to worry about,
right?
Because not overachieving is that he progressed well, and this ain't the year, dog. The Commanders, and I think year 3. Oh man. You may get not red, whatever. You may get them 80s, them Redskins type things again happening with them. They are year 3, man. Watch out for that team. That team is going to be special.
This team, I'm gonna tell you what. If they were playing back in the old RFK, this would be terrible, Bo. Playing in Landover is what killing them. But the plan is to build a new stadium back on the same spot, the old stadium. They the team to watch.
On top of RFK?
Yeah, they going back there. They gonna build a stadium there. If they don't go there, they're gonna go right there in Prince George's County. You know where you cross over from beginning to DC right before you get to Alexandria. Yeah. So Kelsey, you don't think y'all gonna do anything? Y'all gonna score 10?
Look at me good when I say this. No. It's over.
It's over.
I hope we don't win.
It's over.
I hope we don't win another game. It's over.
Look.
It's over.
Okay. All right.
Do you do like me, man? Like when they start getting beat, you start rooting for them to get their ass whooped. Like if they don't care, how
that's what he was doing.
And I ain't even on the team, so just go ahead and beat that ass.
I'm at the opera listening to the fat lady, man. It's over.
she warming up.
Man, she got them pipes going, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
She sings. I'm telling you.
All right. We got Patriots, Dolphins. Dolphins.
That low-key might be a good game.
Right, it might be. Yeah. I just it's something about.
Have the Patriots scored over 8 points in the last 4 weeks?
They scored 22 last week.
Oh, because it look like it's 3, 4. It look like they just get beat and don't score at all. And I was rooting for him a little bit.
Drake May is playing decent. The problem with the Patriots is they ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah, they ain't got nothing. He got. That's a strong rebuild there. That's not a quick turnaround. That's a strong rebuild because Bill didn't do anything them last 3 years after Brady left. So that was it.
No.
For Dallas, do y'all ever admit to rebuilds?
Who?
Who?
Like on Dallas. Like I ain't never heard Dallas because every year is like Super Bowl.
Dallas hadn't had a rebuild.
Like I have never heard say
89.
like rebuild.
Since Parcells.
No, y'all
Parcells
ain't had
tried.
no rebuild then. Y'all ain't had no
He
rebuild
tried.
since 89, man. 89,
No, he
90,
tried.
91.
They well, not a total overhaul, but they did beef up the O-line. That's about all they did.
Wait,
But as
no,
far as
they
total,
probably had to for the Quincy Carter year. That had to be a tear down.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
you don't
it is.
just
Yeah.
have Quincy Carter as your quarterback.
Well, you had what's called
Don't
Chan
call
Gailey.
it
That was Chan Gailey as the head coach,
Oh,
right?
Chan
Yeah.
Gailey as your head coach,
Yeah.
man.
Nah, yeah.
Hey, when Quincy Carter is your quarterback, that has to
Yeah.
be classified as a rebuild, man.
All right.
Didn't we have the quarterback from Clemson there at one point too?
Yeah, Woodrow.
Woodley.
Yeah, Woodrow Dantzler. Yeah.
Hey, Woodrow,
Yeah.
but Woodrow was playing running back.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. That should have told you right there. Your best quarterback will play running back. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. We got Titans versus the Texans on Sunday. Titans is in major rebuild mode. Texans don't lose this game. You played too good Monday night to go and stink it up.
But they played the Cowboys, man. Come on, man. They did.
You played too good to stink it up, but they can stink it up, okay? Low key, this is a game I want to see, but it could go either way. Lions, Colts.
If Anthony
This could go either way, man.
Man, you thought he had to take himself out. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of tackles.
It could go either way, man, because you never know what Anthony Richardson.
Hey, here you go. You're gonna see a lot of this in that game.
I just don't see a quarterback doing it.
You're gonna see a lot of this. No, that's gonna be everybody. After they get on that ass, everybody just go. I guarantee you that you ain't never seen this before. You're gonna have everybody on the team do this all at one time. Take me out.
Be like Martin.
Yeah, 11. Exactly. Yep. Nipsey, this ain't hot wings. Basketball. Yep.
All right. And the last 1 o'clock game is Vikings Bears.
Bears
in
winning
Chicago. Vikings can pretty much get themselves in a good situation for the playoffs at this point. They ain't going nowhere because Sam Darnold is going to Sam Darnold. So, but they'll make the playoffs. Then 4 o'clock game, we got the Broncos at the Raiders. Broncos have steadily improved, but you really don't know if they really, really good or if
I think against teams like
really,
that,
really bad.
Yeah, with teams like that, they show to be really, really good. Yeah. And that's what they do. And they're beating the teams. They beat a couple of teams they shouldn't have. But what they do is excel in beating the teams that they generally
win where they're supposed to win. Yeah.
And been by a big margin.
I'm waiting on Auburn Bo Nix to show up because you know it's coming. We've seen this. We've seen this before with Bo Nix, man. We've seen it before. So, the 4:30 game is 49ers Packers. Packers should.
Yeah.
It depends on what
you should feel good about this game, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little concerned about the Packers.
Me too, man.
But I don't know what's wrong. Is it? I don't, because sometimes you can say it's the defense, but then sometimes you're like, what is Jordan doing? It's like sometimes they clicking and it look good. And, oh man, here they go. And then, just like you had to come back last week and block the field goal. I'm like, it just something ain't quite right. It kind of like Luther Jerry Curry. It didn't quite.
And I think that injury kind of threw off some of that development time. And I think a next season jump, barring injury, is where you'll see that, the real Jordan Love.
Well, they still the youngest team in the NFL. Yeah, so, I thought this year they would take it by the horns and run with it, but the injury kind of did slow that down. But they dangerous, and you got to watch them. You got Mighty Mouse is going up to Seattle. Dave,
to see who?
Arizona. I got Arizona. I never really picked them because
Mighty Mouse going up to play the Seahawks. This ought to be great.
Mighty Mouse
versus Geno, man. This is primetime football here now, all right? And then Sunday night game, you got the Eagles going out to play the Rams.
That might be the trap game.
But you know what though? Again, you don't know what Ram team is gonna show up.
I know.
You know, is just going to be the team that played Miami 2 weeks ago and couldn't do nothing? Or is it going to be like it was this past week, you know, and they're going to play good football? You don't know with them.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then we got the brothers against brothers, Monday night, Ravens, Chargers. The Ravens cannot go out and lose this game. If the Ravens go out there and lose,
but that's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game, but if the Ravens go out there and lose this game, that puts them in a very
I think the Ravens put this is going to be a good game. Yep.
That puts them in a bad situation, man.
Yep.
Bad situation. All right. Let's go to the college game. Last night, poll came out. Everybody upset. I don't worry about it because it's going to play itself out because everybody got to play each other between now and next week. So, but the thing is, I'll just say like this: we got a mess in college football, but I'm glad of it because I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all wanted these super conferences, okay? And you got it now. And now everybody got a loss, whereas used to be maybe 2 or 3 of you was undefeated during this time or whatever, and you ain't had nothing to cry about. Now, I got a loss. I lost to this person. I lost to that person. Oh, but I'm still better than this person. Big Ten football, I'm just gonna be honest. Nobody other than Oregon really deserves to be in the playoffs. Penn State is lacking. Ohio State, all the talent in the world, but you already know Ryan Day can't coach nothing. So that's going to show itself at some point. Indiana, hopefully, if they beat Ohio State, but see, that's going to knock somebody else out that really deserve to go because they're going to get Ohio State in there at some point just because. And I hate that. Because really, that game, the Ohio State Indiana game is to play Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. So
it is not the college football playoffs. It is the Big Ten versus SEC playoff.
Well,
call it what it is. Because you got BYU snuck in there. You got Miami in there, and they really, I think they want to really not even have an ACC rep. The way they talk, you gotta listen to how they are really shitting on the ACC. It's like they don't even want us to have a rep. I understand, but man, if they could say playoffs, no ACC, I don't think they really care about that.
Well, the ACC got themselves to blame for this, partly because Clemson, you should not have lost to Louisville. If you wouldn't have lost to Louisville, wouldn't have been no problem. Everybody would have been on board. Would have been fine. But now the powers that be are hoping Miami stumbles because they already see Miami is not it. They want Clemson SMU for the championship. And SMU needs Clemson more so than they need Miami because I'll just be honest. If SMU has to play Miami, they're going to beat the snot out of Miami.
Yes.
And they might beat the snot out of Clemson too.
That too. I already said that.
Well, look here.
As a matter of fact, SMU is the best team in the conference this year on the real.
I don't disagree with you because what I've seen is that the Mustangs look like the Mustangs of our youth. Pony Express is back the way they is. Clemson, you got up 17-0 quick, and then you just didn't do nothing else. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? You know,
Waffle couldn't run. Yeah.
He's hurt. And that's another thing, man. Will they stop running this man 20 and let some of these freshmen get some? The man is his arm looked like it's ready to fall off. But yet they trot this man out here 20 times a game. It is diminishing returns. And last week, to me, is the last week you probably got he's overworked right now. They don't give nobody else a chance to run the ball.
He can rest him this week, though. They play the Citadel. They should rest.
He shouldn't even play at all. I wouldn't even let him play at all. Because you're going to need him. You're going to need him. And this is low key, and we've been overlooking him partly because I'll just be honest. There's an in-state bias on this show. I'll just be honest, okay? But Gamecocks been playing decent football. Gamecocks been playing decent football.
I've been waving that warning for since the beginning.
The Ole Miss game, they stunk. They really stunk the Ole Miss game. But now that I look at it, they should have beat LSU. They should have beat Alabama. Really, they would be in prime spot if they had played some of the other big wigs in the SEC right now, they would probably be looking at a playoff spot. But because because this is the one year that they don't play Georgia, they play great.
Sellers didn't get hurt in that LSU game. They won. They win that game.
And I'm gonna tell you how this game. And this is how you're gonna know how this game gonna go. It's gonna be the first. It's gonna be our first offensive series, straight up. You will know how this game goes, and I'm gonna tell you why. That pass rush, is something that you got to. And our offensive line right now looks like crap. You will know by the first drive if we are overwhelmed in that game or not, because it can start out off of a pick six turnover or a fumble turnover in the first drive. I'm just saying, if they come in and bull jive, that could be the tone set for the game.
Well, the other part of it is this. Offensively, you really got to sit there and you got to really put a finger on what are the Gamecocks doing, because it's not like it's prolific offense. It's just on time offense. You know what I mean?
Steady offense. Yeah.
It's on time. You know, they bust a big run, they bust a big pass, Sellers make a big run or whatever. Now, if our defense plays the way that it played against Pitt, 9 sacks ain't nothing to sneeze at, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Parker is unblockable. But the Gamecocks got 2 that's unblockable too.
I know, man.
It's almost like you kind of want to see, you kind of anticipate this game being, 17-14. It might not even get to that point. What was it last year? 13-6, 13-9.
Like
they didn't, we sold and that was it. But now the other thing, and I don't know, y'all might not have heard this here. The big fuss has been that game is at 12 o'clock on that Saturday, and everybody's upset about that because one, you playing Florida State, Florida at 7:30 that night. Why? Now I can understand not playing at 3:30 because that's Alabama Auburn. You don't want to interfere with that game. But at 12 o'clock, most of the country, especially if Ohio State beats Indiana, most of the country is going to see can Ryan Day beat Michigan. Now, if he don't beat Michigan this year, I have nothing to say after that, because he ought to put 50 on Michigan this year. But the Gamecocks and Clemson not being in a prime slot is ridiculous. You are giving Georgia Tech 7:30, but Clemson, Carolina probably should have been 7:30 on years.
That's a bigger draw.
I would have thought so, but they put Florida State, and I'm like, what are y'all doing?
It's the reflection of the disrespect to Clemson and the ACC.
Yeah, but I mean, the Gamecocks, everybody talking positivity toward them. And because of the fact you're playing a couple of rival games on Friday, I felt like the Gamecocks and Clemson could have slid. Now, like I say, I knew 3:30 wasn't going to be the game because that's always Alabama Auburn. That's not a problem. But they should have been either 7 o'clock or 7:30. Florida State and Florida should have been 12 o'clock, because there's no way you could justify that game.
That's must not see TV.
Bruh. If Billy don't win this game by 2 touchdowns, something wrong. At least 2 touchdowns. Because Florida State is the worst football team in the nation. And that's saying something, because you got to remember, you got Kent State and Akron out the MAC. They are the worst football team. And my thing is he going to get fired? That's what I want to see. Because
the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator
and the wide receiver coach. But these were people that were there last year when you won 13 games. But is they problem this year? Come on, bro. That ain't what it is. That ain't what it's
the whole thing. If Miami wouldn't have pulled out them losses in the last seconds, right? They'd probably be a 4-loss team right now, right? Let's just be honest. 3 loss.
Yeah, but Chris
they
Paul
got
can't coach.
On the lucky end of, like I said in football, you just can't pay people to come together and gel in a year. You can't even really do it in basketball, because usually them super teams, even when you do them, it's the next year they win, not the first year. So if you're going to go with this carousel of NIL, You're gonna have to get with these up and downs unless you're overwhelmingly more talented than another team. And Miami does have a lot of overwhelming, and that's what has saved them in these 38, 43 games and all these games that they close in, because they got enough talent to score on your ass in 5 seconds. So that's why they okay, because all of them, Hernandez, I mean, that dude will run everybody over. Next thing you know, he got 60 yards.
Well, but the thing about
Florida State is the 1 in 11 reason, the 1 in 11 story where you just lose it all. NIL, you tried to replace, the coach and all that, and it did not work out.
Well, I anticipate Miami falling by the wayside next year anyway, because unless he bringing in somebody to replace Cam Ward, they're gonna be in the same boat.
And Hernandez, he's a senior, the running back.
Right.
And those two linemen, they're seniors.
They're seniors. He isn't set up for long-term success. The only two teams in the conference that's set up for long-term success is SMU and Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
SMU is going to be fine next year. I would even go on and put them in the top 10 to start the season next year, because they ain't falling off. And I give you a low key one for next year. Cal.
Hey, I'm always rooting for Cal.
Cal. Next year, Cal gonna cause everybody problem, bro, because they done finally got a taste of what big time football is like, and they ain't play. And they understand. Oh, we got to get tough around here.
And you go look, they never got beat down. They only lost by like
2 points here and there.
A touchdown or more.
Yeah. Let's jump to 1AA just for a minute. South Carolina State clinched the MEAC last week. They still have one more game this week coming up against Norfolk State, but shouldn't be a problem. Chennis Berry, first year, he's going to end up 9-2. Impressive. And let's just be real about this here. One of his losses came to a 1A school. I forgot who they played earlier. I think it was Central Florida, I believe. And then the other loss came, and now it's inexplicable, but they lost by 1 point to FAMU at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, and FAMU is like the 4th, 5th best team in the SWAC right now. So it's like, okay, he was still trying to get stuff together. I envision us being back like it was with Coach Jeff was there, and they winning, every year, because right now the kids got something to point toward. I look forward. Now the Celebration Bowl is going to be pretty good. The winner out of Jackson State and Southern for the SWAC title is going to play in the Celebration Bowl. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it's Jackson State. Both of them are ranked in 1AA right now. Looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a good game, because I didn't realize State has a lot of talent, NFL type talent. And I'm like, okay, we getting back to like how it used to be. So I'm looking forward to that. So just big ups to Coach Barry for getting.
One thing too, I gotta say is having that number beside the name.
Right.
Even when State won, with Celebration Bowl, before previously, even without deceased, classmate Kelly, right?
Right.
There was never a number beside the name. It is so good to see a number by State's name as a national ranking. That's the part that I'm enjoying the most.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing. In people, a lot of people, if you don't follow 1AA football, you don't realize how good football teams are in 1AA. The two Dakotas will kill you.
And I'm here with one. Where Cooper Cup, Eastern Washington, Montana State. Here, crazy thing here, AA football is really big because you get a lot of talent from Montana State, Eastern Washington, because they play big time against each other.
Right.
And the Dakotas, of course. Yeah, all the Dakotas.
Both Dakota. You do, like man say, you don't want to play. Nobody got Dakota in their name. Not even that. Had to drop that one in there,
I appreciate the love, but nah.
I don't play fair. I don't play fair.
I see.
All right. But looking at, like I say, the rankings came out last night. Everybody up in arms. Honestly, for me, I got Oregon, Ohio State. I got Colorado out of the 12, Miami and SMU out of the ACC. Army, shout out to Army. I hope they continue to win. You got Texas, Georgia, Bama, and A&M out of the SEC. You got to bring in Notre Dame, and your other one is Boise State. My first 4 out is Arizona State, Clemson, Ole Miss, and Tulane. And then shouldn't even now if Penn State, even if they went out, they shouldn't be considered, but they're gonna put them in there. I already know that. Shouldn't even be.
Penn State
they played a terrible schedule. If Indiana beats Ohio State, they're gonna figure out some kind of way to keep Ohio State in there. But Indiana shouldn't be there either because they hadn't played anybody either. Low key, Arizona State can throw a monkey wrench in all of this because nobody's been paying them any attention. But they still got an outside shot to play in the Big 12 championship game against Colorado. And they might be a problem because they like old Arizona State. They out there, ain't nobody paying no attention. They just winning football games. Clemson, we already know how that goes. Ole Miss, you don't know what Lane gonna do because you know Lane will screw it up just to show. And then the low-key one, and this might be one of the better championship games on championship weekend, Army versus Tulane. Nobody gonna talk about that. But Tulane and Army are good.
And one of them have to go, right?
One of them got to go. Because they
I made to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The winner
it won't. If Tulane wins the championship, they won't get in because they got 2 losses.
And Army's undefeated.
Army's undefeated.
Army plays Notre Dame this weekend, right?
Army plays Notre Dame this weekend. That's the big game.
None of them ain't going in there.
But it's just good to see Army. It's just good to see Army there, man. You know how it is.
It's good for this week, but that shit is
so this is the Saturday before. This is there's only 2 more weeks of college football regular season play. The big game at 12 o'clock, of course, we've already touched on it, Indiana, Ohio State.
Ohio State, yep.
That game determines who goes to the Big 10 championship game.
Can I make a prediction?
Go ahead.
Game will go by halftime.
If it ain't, if this game is not over with by halftime, Ryan Day will be getting the U-Haul ready to go next week.
You know, what's their hand picks the coaches? They go there. Urban.
I know. You got Wake Forest playing Miami at 12 o'clock. Only reason this is significant is because of the fact Miami, you can't stumble. If you stumble, Clemson takes that spot.
They play Syracuse the week after, though, right?
They play Syracuse the week after, but Syracuse right now, I'm like, it's just like that. Low key, Lane and Ole Miss is going to Florida. They're just playing good football, y'all.
I like that.
I'm so glad he's getting the opportunity. He's gonna be fine. Give Florida another year. They're gonna be something to deal with.
That's the Galloway dude, right? The quarterback. What's his name?
What is his name?
No, not Mertz.
Lagway. That's his
name. That's him.
Yeah.
I like him, man.
Yeah. He and last week he beat LSU on one leg because he couldn't even run.
I like him.
So again, that goes to the narrative of what I've been saying all year. Brian Kelly is the worst Power 4 coach in all of America. I will continue to say that until somebody fires Brian Kelly. Anyway, another game of significance, SMU versus Virginia, only because this is SMU's another road game. This pretty much clinches it for them if they beat Virginia. So looking forward to that.
Man, where SMU play at? Do they play in the Texas Stadium?
No, they got their own stadium on campus.
But they used to play in the Cotton Bowl.
They used to play in the old Cowboys Stadium.
Okay, that was it. All right, yeah.
Back when it was the Pony Express, they used to play it in Irving. Y'all still got a stadium up, Kelsey? Oh, they didn't tore it down.
I think they tore it down.
Oh, okay. That was the old days of Southwest Conference football.
Tex and Tom Landry.
Yeah. This game here, only reason I put it on the schedule is both of them stink. Charleston Southern is 1-10, playing against Florida State, that's 1-9. So first 1-7 is the winner. So
off the Southern upset alert.
If Charleston Southern beats Florida State,
you heard it here first. I'm gonna write this down so I can bring it back.
All y'all, I will text all of y'all by 4 o'clock. Get your resumes ready because I'm gonna need an offensive and defensive coordinator. We going to Florida State. Forget LSU. We going to Florida. We gonna get them boys from the watermelon fields, and we gonna take over.
Tallahassee, here we come.
Tallahassee. Big game in the Big 12. BYU plays Arizona State. This here will solidify if Arizona State plays Colorado for the championship. This should be a pretty good game. And then the game that's at the same time, Colorado versus Kansas. Kansas is starting to turn it around. If Kansas upsets Colorado, it throws a monkey wrench in everything at this point, and Kansas can do it because they just beat BYU. So do not be surprised.
Or the cover, not the way out, but the cover.
Yeah. The two state schools, Clemson and South Carolina, both playing one of their foes. Clemson plays the Citadel. South Carolina plays Wofford. Should not be any problem with either one of them. Play the youngsters, get a lot of reps. Let's get it over. Don't get anybody hurt. Get ready for Saturday after Thanksgiving, and let's enjoy ourselves. Again, Army versus Notre Dame. We'll see. That's in Yankee Stadium, so we'll see. Then that night, we got Alabama headed to Oklahoma. Is this Brent Venables' last game?
Yeah, could we need him back?
No, he came out. They gave him they're gonna keep him. Yeah, they've said it already.
Even if he get embarrassed?
Yeah, they've said it because I think they don't want to be. I think they actually knew what they signed up for when they went to the SEC.
But you know what though? When you think about it,
now Texas is always
they should have stayed in the 12, man.
Yes, but I think everybody went for the money, man.
Everybody went for the money, but they are going to be the first ones that are going to come out and say, you know what, we should have stayed where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I heard somebody say this one about this game today, and I had to turn around and look at them like they were crazy. A&M plays Auburn Saturday night, and they was like, Auburn could cause A&M problem. I'm like, what Auburn team you talking about?
Hey, there was a point spread one time where Auburn was a point favorite or underdog, and it was against a good team. And I wondered why and how it happened. I think Auburn actually won the only highlight victory anybody got this year. The game was close. It was like a 1-point spread game at the beginning of the year.
I say again, have you watched Auburn this year? Auburn is terrible.
Who they beat? They got any victory?
I don't think
over anybody that's.
I don't think they beat anybody that's worth anything.
Let's see. Let me. I'm the stats guy.
Yeah, pull it up there, cool.
All right, their schedule for this year was. I don't need to see. All right, here we go. What do they have? What do we have? No, that's not what I want. All right, let me try this again.
Because I know it was like 1. And I was like, man, why is it even close?
Well, Cal beat them, so that pretty much,
And it was right after the Cal, that Cal beat him or something. I'll let Cal dig that one down. What they call him on TNT, underdog.
That's right. Let me see if I get this right. Okay, here we go. All right, so they lost to Georgia on the 5th, October 19th. They lost to Missouri. They beat Kentucky. They beat
that was the
Monroe.
One. And that's when we thought Kentucky was better than they were. And Kentucky ended up not being as good.
Right.
Yeah, because that's the game. It was a close spread, and I was wondering why, because I was under the illusion Kentucky was like the Kentucky team that we played and that was supposed to come into the season as a good team. And that's when South Carolina beat Kentucky, because we were talking about game day that week.
Yeah.
Right. And so, all right. And then the last game, well, not the last game, but game we're going to highlight, Vanderbilt versus LSU. And the reason why I put that on there, both of them have the same record. Both of them are 6-4. LSU has absolutely no business being 6-4. Okay. Fire Brian Kelly. LSU has too much talent to have 4 losses. Too
Mhm.
much talent to have 4 losses. This is ridiculous.
Where's the game?
The game is in Baton Rouge.
Okay,
It's
that's
on.
the saving grace. Because I actually think
Oh,
should.
if it was in Nashville, I'd be all over it. But the game is in Baton Rouge, so and it's a night game.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna act a fool. Plus, if he lose to Vanderbilt, his stuff will
And he
be
probably
packed.
will.
His stuff will be packed that night.
He can't go back in
They
the
ain't
locker room.
going for this, bro. I don't blame him because, like I say, this is not
You won't be
LSU
able to leave that
football,
damn
man.
stadium if you lose.
This is not
Yeah,
LSU football. You know,
So
you
Nick
just
Saban coming back.
what they don't
Nick
need to
Saban
say,
gonna come back and take care of
bro.
LSU.
That honestly,
The
that's
left.
LSU is probably the premier job in the SEC. Honestly, from a
Yeah, I
football
think you may
standpoint.
be on to something, Kels.
You think Nick could come back to LSU?
I think okay, you know how they have, would you be surprised and shocked? You know how those are the two things. I wouldn't be shocked if Nick came back to LSU because it could be, like you said, they got the talent. He come, everybody will stay committed. And you probably can pull a couple, right? And he can stick it to Alabama one last time. I wouldn't be shocked, man. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Well, one of the things, you know, when Coach O was leaving, everybody was, you know, all up in arms. They thought Jimbo was going to come back. I'm like, why did you want Jimbo in the first place? That wasn't going to work. The
I
only
get
person
less.
I feel like that could go to LSU with no issues and be okay would be someone of the caliber of a Dabo or somebody on that type level. Urban Meyer cannot get another job, so you get that out of your head. He can't get another job.
You think
Dabo
Dabo would
ain't
want to go
leaving.
to the SEC?
Dabo's gonna leave. It would have been for the Alabama job.
You think Dabo would want an SEC job?
Well, he would have took the Alabama job.
Not now. Right? If all the changes wouldn't have happened in the last few years, I might would have said yeah, but there's no reason to go there now because what's going to happen is the SEC is going to kill itself from the inside out over the next few years. There, you won't get another undefeated SEC team going to a championship game. That's not going to happen because the schedule is going to be ridiculously hard from now on.
One team.
With one team. Yeah. You look at Texas. Texas couldn't even survive, you know, where they were. And you know, Georgia showed them, hey, we still the big dogs in this conference now. So, I mean, once Sark leaves Texas, Texas is going to fall back by the wayside, you know. McConaughey going to have to coach him, you know.
He'll do it.
He's
Guaranteed.
rice.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it. All right, so that's where we at right now. Football is what it is. One thing I can say about this year, football has not been disappointing at all this year.
No.
Every weekend has had some kind of excitement, something to make your mouth drop, something to make you be like, I can't believe I just saw happen. You got people jumping over people backwards.
Flat-footed.
You got people running 50 yards, look like Peter Gonzalez when we were growing up.
You got football going straight down the middle of the upright, and then it take a right turn and blow off to the side.
Yeah. People hitting 64-yard field goals, and then you take them off, and you go for it, and you still can't score. So you know how that go.
People jump in the air, turn backwards, and jump over people.
It is what it is.
Come on now.
Come
on, man.
Now, eventually, we're going to transition. Once football is winding down, we're going to transition to a little bit of college basketball and a little bit of the NBA. And I'll just go on and say right now, college basketball looks like it's going to be exciting all the way around. The NBA, to an extent, has been pretty good already. You're seeing things, but you know we don't get into the NBA until after Christmas, so you know how that goes. But we are seeing some decent games out of some up and coming stars, which is what we need to see to keep the NBA going. And then once again, the girls here at the University of South Carolina still outstanding, ain't falling off. Actually, might be more dangerous this year.
They just whooped Clemson 77, what, 45?
Bruh,
Today?
look here. She taking it easy on people because she got 12 legitimate. It's almost like old UConn when he had 12 legitimate. You know, right now he down to 5.
He got 12 legitimate this year.
I know.
I mean, all of them still hurt. They got hurt because he had a bench full of hurt players last year.
But you know who his freshman is, don't you, Dave? Sarah Strong. No. You know who child that is, right?
No.
I know Strong. Let me blow your mind. Remember Stacy Feaster when we was in school?
Yep. Tip friend.
That's Stacy's daughter. She went to Duke.
You heard that, Tip? She heard, yeah. You know, Tip and Stacy with the girls. You remember that girls thing?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
that's Allison's niece. That's Allison Feaster's niece.
That's what was Allison. Yeah, Allison Feaster. Yeah, from Chester.
That's her niece.
Yeah, Chester. Yeah.
Yeah. So
man, crazy how small world it is. I am a dude out here I work with at Microsoft. He is Allison Feaster. His last name Feaster, something the way from Chester.
Yeah.
And his first cousin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's Stacy. That's Stacy's daughter though. Yeah. So that you know we was hoping she was gonna come to Carolina to play with Dawn.
Why UConn? Why UConn?
That's where she always wanted to go, and then she was the number one. She was the number one player in the nation. So you know, Gino ain't letting that slide, but so much.
That is crazy. That's how close we know the number one girls recruiting. That is, man. I tell you, 6 degrees separation, man.
Well, the number three player, Joyce Edwards, who grew up here in Camden, bruh, that's a monster already. That's gonna be Cardoza times 10.
How tall is she?
6'5".
And how old?
18.
Yeah, what do you know about the dirty South?
Yeah. It's just gonna continue, man. But again, and for those of you that are outside South Carolina and listen to this, I'm just gonna be real about this here. One of the things that we have learned, the state of South Carolina produces talent in all phases, not only just athletics, but music, also through education. The state of South Carolina per capita probably puts out more stars than any other state in the country. And all you got to do is just be patient because somebody from South Carolina is going to show up somewhere.
You was better than me. I thought you was going to say, I was about to say, if you outside state of South Carolina, listen to this, go to hell. But good job. You turned that around because I was about to just go straight bucket with it. Good job, T. Hey, I love that. Hey, I love that.
Forgive him, folks, because he knew not what he did.
I thought that's where we was going, T.
He knew
I thought that was the road we would. If you ain't,
Kelsey,
I didn't know we was going down PSA lane. My bad, dog.
Hey, I gotta put up with this for 3 weeks in December, bro.
Closed-minded folk. You know,
closed-minded folk.
We got a demo nobody want to hear, man. South Carolina got something to say. That's all I got.
Hey, we got something to say.
But oh my God. And if he can mess around and get skeet for one of them 3 shows.
Oh, he gonna be beside me. Oh yeah, I got drag skeet in there.
He cannot sit with me because I have to get away from them because they gonna fight. And they fight.
No, we doing that all the way live. I'm coming down.
If you coming home,
hey, I said y'all thing. So at the party, that's gonna be the thing anyway.
Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all for putting up with us and laughing and joking. And this is what we do. Just all in the name of friendship and love of sports, love of our great state of South Carolina, and continue on doing what we're doing. And then we got some other shows coming up on She Good People. So be listening at that as well. And just enjoy yourselves, man. This is entertainment. This is therapy for us, but it's entertainment for you all. Just to hear 3 fools that talk about stuff that we know. All right. Y'all be good.
Well put.